So in this video, I wanted to talk about the theory that we're in the last days. This is actually a very popular theory in the TI community for spiritual TIs. Many of them believe that this is the end of the world, that we're living in the last days. And I want to touch on this topic because I think that a lot of TIs actually believe that we're living in the last times, which is why we're being so persecuted. So I'm going to go over spiritual passages that address this topic, and I will allow you guys to reach your own conclusions. Okay, so I'm just going to go over what I know about this topic and allow you to sort of decide for yourself whether you think we're living in the last days. Okay, so basically, so in the Bible, it does kind of tell us what we should expect during the last days. Now, Jesus told people that he doesn't know when the last days will take place. Like, he doesn't know when it all starts. And he also said that the angels don't know. He said only God knows. He says he doesn't know and the angels don't know. Only God knows when the end of the world is going to happen. So he doesn't know. But he basically gives us like signs that we can look for so we can sort of be, on top of this. Like we'll see the signs and we can sort of infer that it's like right around the corner, it's about to start happening or whatever. So we have signs that can warn us that the end of the world might be right around the corner. Okay, so according to the Bible, fornication is going to be a key element in everything. Like fornication. So the Bible says that the people in charge, the rulers of the earth, are going to fornicate a lot. And, because it's all sort of dressed up by, through metaphors, it's hard to, to say exactly what's going to happen. Because in the Bible, the signs that are given are dressed up in metaphor. Okay, so you have to translate the metaphors if you want to know what it's talking about. So an antichrist figure will appear on the stage, and there will also be a false prophet. And when I say the term antichrist, I want you guys to understand what I'm talking about. Okay, antichrist is basically any individual of power who tries to undermine Jesus Christ or say that he's not who he says he is and keep people from being saved. But this will be a person of power who is basically keeping people from being saved by rejecting Christ and making it so that other people reject Christ. Like he's like an enemy of God who is, trying to do the opposite of what God's trying to do, and he's working against God. He has power on this earth, so he's an antichrist. And there isn't one antichrist, there were many antichrists. So when I use the term antichrist, I'm talking about the final antichrist, and this person is referred to as the beast in the Bible. He's just called the beast. Now, the beast is the person of Satan who forces everybody to get his mark as a show of fealty. And you always hear Christians talking about the mark of the beast. So the beast is going to be some sort of powerful figure who basically takes control of the world. And he's going to have powers that were given to him through Satan, who's called the dragon, and the false prophet. So the false prophet and Satan are going to empower the beast so that he can take over the entire world. And people are going to worship his image, and he's going to force people to worship his image and worship him instead of God. And the mark of the beast is going to be like a show of fealty to him, saying that, he's replacing God. And the rulers of the earth are going to get caught up in some sort of fornication. So like his women are going to be super important to his rule. Like women are going to be super important to his rule. That's what the Bible is suggesting. Women are going to be super important to his rule. Fornication, like people are going to be seduced by sex, and that's going to cause them to follow this beast character. And he's going to have the beast is going to have a prophet. The beast is going to have a prophet, and he's going to be called the false prophet. Now he is going to be a prophet, but he's going to be an evil one, and he's going to be a prophet for the beast, like this character that's been being empowered by Satan, and he's going to have his own prophet, and his prophet is going to do miracles and be powerful. So I want to talk about this, okay? So according to the Bible, the demons are going to give him powers, and the false prophet and the beast are going to be full of demons, and they're going to do miracles through the demons. And this is in the Bible. So when it basically is saying that the false prophet and the beast and maybe some of his people are going to have powers, and the powers are going to be given to him by the demons, that's in the Bible. So the demons give the beast in the so the demons are going to the false prophet is going to have powers, and him and the beast are going to, like, his words are going to be through demons and some sort of demonic activity, like he's going to speak. And it basically just says that through his mouth, demons will come out into the world, and there's going to be a connection between demons and them. And the false prophet is going to have powers given to him by Satan and the demons, and he's going to basically fool the entire world into following him. When that happens, he will force everybody to take his mark as a show of fealty, and the world is going to be in really bad shape. We're going to be getting hit by major natural disasters, and when bad things happen, everybody is going to basically blaspheme God. And they're going to just, every time something bad happens, they're going to blaspheme God. But they're not going to repent for their sin. And they're not going to follow Jesus Christ. But they're going to blaspheme God, saying that, like, if something bad happens on this earth, people are going to blame God for it. Like, whatever bad thing happens, like, to them, they're going to blame God, and they're going to blaspheme and curse God over every bad thing that happens to him. So that's going to be one of the signs. So the beast is going to have control. Most of his power is going to come through fornication of some sort. It doesn't go into detail, but it's basically suggesting that the fornicating woman is going to be one of his most powerful assets. In regards to taking over the world, the fornicating woman is going to be his most powerful asset when it comes to taking the world. So it dressed it up in metaphor, but that's basically how I translated it. So fornicating women are going to be super important to his control, according to the Bible. And the leaders of the earth are going to get caught up in his fornications, like the fornicating women. And they're going to follow this guy. They're going to follow him because of the fornicating women. So the fornicating woman is going to be super important. So this beast character does take over, and he basically persecutes all of God's people. And so the God's people are going to just have to withstand this really dark point in history. We're going to all have to basically just be completely miserable and persecuted, and bad things are going to happen to us, and the world is going to just hate us like it's never hated us before, or hated anyone before. And it's just going to be a really dark time. It's going to be a really dark time for all of God's people. Okay, so that's going to happen, and the attitude of people is going to change. Like, people are just not going to really care, or they're going to all reject God. And it's going to be a really dark time. There's going to be a small percentage of people left on this earth who are loyal to God. So let me see if there's anything I'm missing here. Yeah, so there's going to be wars, rumors of war, and just the world's just going to be chaotic. It's going to be a chaotic, violent place. It's going to become more and more violent. And the people in charge are going to sort of allow things that they're not supposed to allow to happen. Like, they're not going to keep order the way they're supposed to. We're not going to be able to have the same order that we've enjoyed for a pretty long time. So there's going to be a lot of disorder. You're going to notice that a lot of people are going to come together and do evil and stuff like that. Like, they're going to kind of just buck against the God's order and all this stuff, buck against the rules. Like I hear in California, they're doing street takeovers and stuff. Street takeovers, okay? Where a gang of people take over the entire street and nobody can stop them. Like, basically, people are going to come together and sort of go against the order and fight against the order. like take over stuff, like, you know, just run stuff, and it's not going to be within this system, because you got to remember that the rule of law is God's order. It's ordained by God, the rule of law. So they're going to buck against the rule of law and just do whatever they want. I mean, or just, you know, like take over stuff, like take over the streets, take over neighborhoods, you know, do all this stuff that goes against God. And the people of power are going to be caught up in fornication, and they're just not going to, you know, they're not going to do anything about it, really. I mean, just really nothing. Like, they're just not going to do what they're supposed to do. They're going to caught up in some sort of fornication. And the fornication, and I can't say this enough, because, you know, I don't think the church teaches this. I was like, the main takeaway is fornication. Like, fornication is everything. The Bible is clear about that. So, like, you know, whatever leads up to the end of the world has to do with fornication, and that's very clear in the Bible. At some point, everyone will be forced to take the mark of the beast to show fealty. So, and according to the Bible, like I said, Satan is called the dragon. The false prophet is called the false prophet, and the Antichrist is called the beast. So those are all the terms they're used. So they're all going to sort of form one kind of mind, one mind. Like, they're all going to basically be like one being, and they're going to work together to challenge the Lamb. And the Lamb is Jesus Christ. He's considered the Lamb. So they're going to challenge the Lamb, who's Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ is going to have some people on this earth who remain loyal to God. And these people will side with Jesus Christ, and they're going to battle. They're going to kind of like battle or something along those lines. So there's little signs here and there that can give us like hints as to whether these are the end times. The attitude of the people is going to be really bad. Like, people are just going to be, you know, they're just going to go against really everything that we were taught from the Bible. They're going to be ungrateful, ungrateful, you know, disobedient to their parents, unholy. They're just going to have like a lot of really bad, you know, personality traits, I guess. So yeah, it's going to just, and there's going to be like, you know, just like a lot of bad things are going to happen. Like, a lot of bad things are going to happen in civilization. But I want to make it clear that no one knows exactly when the end of the world is going to happen. And the only thing that people really have to, and if they want to know whether that's going to happen, is just, you know, they have to look at the signs and just try to interpret the signs as best they can. So hopefully I address this in a way that makes a lot of sense to you guys. But gang stalking could be a sign that the end of the world is right around the corner. And I do believe that it could be a sign. If you really think about it, it makes sense for gang stalking to be part of the end of the world prophecy. So hopefully I explain this in a way that makes sense. And as always, if you guys have any questions, or you want to ask me anything, or know how I feel about a certain topic, just message me in the comment section, and I'll try to answer your question as soon as I get it. And until the next video, peace, everybody.